Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. Yeah, you got to work with my internet. Um, you see the thumbnail, Jermell Charlo really exposed the Derrick James and PBC crew for what they really are. If Earl Spence cracked the door open, Charlo took the hinges off. But y'all know what we do. We'll get into that and much more. But y'all know the drill. Let's turn to. Welcome back to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Y'all saw the thumbnail. Jermell Charlo really exposed the Derrick James and PBC crew for what they really are. We're going to get into that, but y'all know what I do at the top of my hour. It's a water check. I just filled my jug back up. I'm reaching my benchmark a lot of times. Sometimes I don't know if I am or if I'm not, but I think I am because I have this 32-ounce container. It's a Wawa container. I love this container. It keeps all my ice cool, for a day. The ice don't melt or something, and I be filling it up like 7-8 times. So to me, I'm reaching my mark. I don't know if the ice makes that half a cup or whatever, but I be filling it up 7-8 times a day. Here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we advocate that everybody drink their amount of water per day. It is usually half your body weight in ounces of water. But if you're a grown person, you don't need to count that. You can drink a gallon of water. But if you don't, we say at least shoot for 100 ounces. You're going to see a difference in whatever it is you're trying to do. If you're trying to get healthy or if you're trying to lose weight, which most people are, you're going to see a difference in drinking 100 ounces of water. And let me just say this too. Nothing you ever do will work if you don't drink water. And that's true. I do it for the health reasons. That's it, for real. A lot of people do it for the weight loss. But there's a lot of people out there that think that they can't lose weight if they drink water. Dan Tan, I see you in a building, say salute Miss T. But that's not true. That's one of those myths. In fact, if you want to lose weight, you better be on some drinking water thing. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to do it. If you go on a diet and you don't drink your proper amount of water, you have wasted your time doing that diet. You're going to look back and be mad as hell, thinking about all the weight you could have lost. had you just, drink your water. We know that what people are not big water drinkers, so we say at least 2 times a day you should drink your water. And that's first thing in the morning before your toes hit the ground, before you get off into your morning routine. Have 8 ounces of water sitting on the nightstand. Learn how to drink your water room temperature. I'm eating and talking to y'all. I'm eating string beans, cabbage, and broccoli. Cooked just right. With some yams. And I am eating the meat tonight. That's chicken. Fried chicken, that is. So, Miss T gotta have it sometime. But, drink your water. If you don't accomplish it today, try again the next day. Try again as soon as you say, oh, damn, I ain't drank my proper amount of water. Go get it. As long as your eyes is open, drink some water. There's such thing as overdoing water, though. You don't want to do that. And people can't do that. You drink what you can drink. I mean, when you start feeling bloated and tight and shit, back off the water. Move around. Let that water move around in that body. The older you get, if you want to maintain your potassium and magnesium's little trick, go get some Celtic salt. Put that on your tongue when you drink water. You're going to get the right amount of magnesium into your body like it's supposed to. That's that water. So your body doing a lot when it wakes up in the morning. It's churning and burning. So you need that water to help things move in a timely and efficient manner. The second time is at night before you go to bed. Not getting to bed, fall asleep, but just like right before 30 minutes or so before you lay down for the night. Drink you some water. The American Heart Association agrees that that's the best time to drink some water. And, a lot of stuff going on at night when you sleep, more than in the day, more than in what you can feel. So this is why you should drink your water. Same reasons for things to move in a timely and efficient manner. But you got a lot of reads going on, revamping, rebooting, recharging, redirecting, recreating. Just a lot of reads. A lot of stuff being generated and created and stored for energy. You need water for all that. That's the lubricant that's needed for everything. Everything in your body. You know what I'm saying? So drink up your water. Drink up your water. There's no reason why 2023 and beyond that people should be dehydrated. Get them babies water. I don't care what them doctors say. Every living thing needs water. So when they be out there telling you your baby don't need to drink water, bull hockey. Every living thing needs water. Water is a sustainer. And you need that. These string beans good as hell. I don't know what to tell y'all. I done fell in love with string beans in my old age. I love them. And cabbage. So drink your water. And make sure you stay hydrated. So now that we got that out the way, let's get some light housekeeping. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you have, we got you locked in. You don't need to touch a dial. Holler at me in the replay. Make a statement, question, whatever. I get back with you. It be friendly. Y'all have done it before. It be friendly. Or hit me up in the email at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. That's boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. You can hit me up, leave a question, a comment, whatever, concern. I get back with you. Y'all know I do. My schedule is Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm thinking that I got my days crossed because I'm trying to remember, did I take my trash out last night or tonight? That's crazy. But I didn't hear no trucks, or did I? I had my trash out there today for sure. But they come on Mondays. But today is a holiday and sometimes we get mixed up. I don't know why I be missing my days or whatever. This a big month and my birthday is in 2 days. So I shouldn't be getting my days mixed up. But when you get older, you don't be thinking about your birthday like you used to. But I'm going to thank God for every year I get to see. So, Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unless there's nothing to talk about or something else that's going on or whatever. And yes, I do take in donations. Boxing Fans Talk TV. That's my Cash App. Use it. Abuse it. I take them all in. It goes back into the show. For some reason, YouTube don't ever count my views. They don't ever count them. And I'm sure I've qualified many moons ago. Even hell, last year, they took away 1,000. I was right at 3,700. You need 4,000. They took away 1,000. Then they took away some hundreds. And they just stopped counting. They don't even count them. I've written them and everything. I don't know why. So yeah, I do take in some Cash App. If y'all hear me drinking water, sorry. But let's get into it. And yes, look, for all those people that say they love Xfinity, I don't know what the hell to say to y'all because I can't stand them. I can't stand Xfinity. Like, I'm probably going to get rid of them, more than likely. Because they want to scramble my shit every day. They go through these periods where they scramble your cable and your internet. Like, I was supposed to be on at 7:30. I had no internet. I ain't get no internet until I just signed on now. I don't know what's up with Xfinity, but that's what they do to me. And then they do this every day. The other time they do it is at 4 a.m, as if nobody can be up at 4 looking at TV. I don't want them anymore. Let me get some online type of service. Just be out the cable business, period. Matter of fact, I try to order the fight. It says I ordered it, right? But it didn't play it. Said it had an error. This is the second time that Xfinity has done that. I think I have calls to get rid of them, don't you? Sorry for eating y'all. Eating these yams and string beans. And the thing about the yams, they not even cooked sweet. I don't do that. I eat it, because yam's supposed to be sweet anyway. A little sugar as possible. And I have started using marshmallows because marshmallow has no nutritional value either way. It doesn't hurt you either way when you eat it, but it tastes sweet. I make everything sweet too now with honey. I'm trying, y'all, shit. I'm just trying. Joseph Bailey is in the building. He said, salute, Miss T. Bo Mac is free. Team Crawford stand up indeed. Yeah, that was one of the first things I was going to say, Joseph. Bo Mac is free. Thank goodness. Thank God that the UK shows some grace on him. I'm a firm believer if you break the law, you break the law. So I don't be feeling sorry for people who break the law, as I'm sure they won't feel sorry for me if I broke the law. But when you break the law, you break the law. But it's still not clear to me, and I guess it don't matter now. Did he take a private jet or did he fly commercial? I'm trying to see how that never came up going over there, you know. But either way, he get to come home. I'm gonna imagine that he'll never go back over there. I wouldn't. I would stay my happy ass in America. And people just understand America don't trump no other country's laws and bylaws and policies. Get that out your head. Even, a lot of Americans think that they're better than the other country or whatever. No, you're not. You're not. You don't got shit. And it shouldn't just not even be a comparison between our country and some other country. They got their rules and their regulations. And they have a right to. You as an American don't have a right to trample all over that. And you're going to get what's coming to you if you do. So Bomac was very fortunate, that they gave him two years suspension. From my understanding, he was awarded 2 years, but he was given 2 years suspension. So whatever time that they gave him, they suspended it. Means a whole lot when they're over there, but I don't know if they and this state's got an agreement going, like if he mess up either way, But if he was over there, for sure. If he run afoul, just like here, you mess up when you're on probation, you go back to jail, right? Well, that's what he got for being over there, but of course, he's coming back home. So that's good for Team Crawford and Bomac and his family. I'm glad you made it back. I'm glad they showed you grace and everything, so you don't have to deal with it. But let's get into this Jermell Charlo. Really exposed Derrick James and PBC crew for what they really are. Yeah, I told y'all I was eating, so excuse me. But Spence kind of cracked the door on what that whole crew was about. And clearly it was about delusional or delusionist, if I'm making up a word, with a capital D. Because they really believe the shit that they believe. And I find that to be true about a lot of Texan people. Now, before you get your panties out of whack, I'm not putting down the whole state of Texas. I'm not putting it down. I'm speaking facts about some of y'all people that come from Texas that be on this shit of y'all are the creme de la creme because you from Texas. Texas is the best state in the union. Texas is this, Texas is that. And thank God we got Texas, because what would little old America be or do? You guys pump that shit to your children when they're in grade school. And them children believe that shit because they take it into an adulthood. It's okay to love your state, but you don't have to become delusional in loving your state. And that's what happened. You got some people, like I could always tell somebody from Texas when they talking about Derrick James and Earl Spence and them. I'd be like, you from Texas, right? I could always tell the arrogance of it all, right? Let me give you an example. It's like if somebody say Bigfoot exists, and you be like, nah, I ain't never seen it. You be like, yeah, it exists. And I be like, how you know? They be like, because of trees. Bigfoot like trees. They like the woods. This woods, isn't it? So it is. It exists. And you be like, can you give me something more concrete than Bigfoot like Woods. So that makes it true that he exists and he's in these woods. That's Texas for you. I'm from the Lone Star State, so everything here is excellent. What that dude say? We piss excellent. What? I'll be like, what? But Earl Spence, Derrick James, and anybody who rode with them, and Charlo, they really did believe that shit. Like they was Jim Jones and it out, Waco and out. They was in a trance. Now, Charlo is already arrogant and conceited. Now, in boxing, most men are, and you have to be. But after this couple of months, the Spence fight, and now the Charlo and fight, I've been reflecting. All the way back to Floyd and Spence. Let me start there. So we know Floyd is the one who helped Spence, push his name up out there in the atmosphere and get all the likes and the views and whatnot by not emphatically denying that Spence got the better of him. The whole time people were talking about that, I felt kind of leery about it. But Floyd never came out and denied it, which I know Floyd to be egotistical enough to do that. But Spence didn't do something too. Spence didn't come out and was braggadocious about it and trying to really sell it and be like, yeah, I pieced up Floyd. Yeah, nigga, I pieced up Floyd. Spence won't doing that shit neither. So I was like, okay, this is a game. Now, if you hear Floyd always say, I am PBC and PBC is me, y'all hear him saying, I ain't making that shit up. He always say it. And he always seemed like it's an argument between him and Earl Spence. Because whenever Floyd says it, if you check it, excuse me, you can check this. Every time Floyd say that type of, I'm PBC, the PBC is me, Earl Spence somehow, some way, a day or two later, come out and say, I don't work for Floyd. I work with Al, or he come out and make a correction. Am I lying? Anybody that follows Earl Spence know that I'm not lying. He's had to say it several times. But they maintain their little spat, their little back and forth. They don't let it get too out of hand. But if you don't know no better, I swear Floyd is saying, look, little dude, you work for me. You need to recognize that shit. And Spence be coming back like, I don't work for you, bro. And you need to stop saying that. But other than that, we wouldn't have even known the Earl. Probably. Or he wouldn't be as big as he is had he not pieced up Floyd Mayweather. It wouldn't have been nobody big for us to even care about. I think a lot of people that didn't like Floyd fell in love with Spence, to be honest, because that's what took him over the top. The idea that he could one up Floyd or get the best of Floyd, I never believed it. Maybe he caught Floyd with a jab or two in sparring, but I never believed that he hurt Floyd or pieced him up. I just didn't. Because of who Floyd was. How much of a fan I was to Floyd. I knew Floyd would never let that happen without getting a lick back. I knew he wouldn't. So I was just like, Floyd ain't say it didn't happen. Earl said it happened, or he agreed that it happened. Neither one of them denied that it didn't happen. So, okay, it is what it is. Good on you, Spence. But piecing up Floyd was not going to make me a big fan of his. You got to do more than that. And contrary to what some might believe, I like Floyd because he was very skillful. And I still, to this day, that's what attracts me to different boxers. It's their abilities and their skill. It ain't what they look like. It really ain't what they look like. It ain't how they dress. Or how much money they got. It's their skills. I'm an ooh and an on about their abilities inside that square circle. So Earl name gets pushed out there. He become popular. And then, of course, he do what Floyd needed it to be done was to get Keith Thurman off his back. Not that Floyd was scared of Keith Thurman, but Floyd was at a point in his career where he was going to pick and choose who he was going to fight, and he won't try to fight these young lions. He'd improved himself. He don't need to keep reproving himself, if that's the word. And that way Keith Thurman could be occupied, right? So everything all was well in boxing land. But that shit went to Earl Spence's head. Because if you got a one-up on the mighty great Floyd Mayweather Jr., then you must be the bomb.com over everybody. That's why I say it went to their head. It went to Derrick James' head. And after all, PBC is Floyd. So, of course, it went to his head. Then, let's go back, way back, to when Charlo was with Rodney Shields. Some of y'all don't remember when they both were coming out. And they had the dreads or the hair, the long hair. And Rodney Shields was training both of them. Lil Charlo used to spend a lot of time in Northern California. And he would come down to Texas to train or whatever. But they would put Big Charlo on the TV. And they would praise Big Charlo. Because I guess he knew how to stick to a game plan. Or maybe they was trying to pump him up or something. But often you would see Big Charlo on the TV. And Lil Charlo would have fought earlier. And you didn't see him. But Lil Charlo was loose cannon. Now, he could box too. Because that's how Rodney Shields. He don't train no sluggers and shit like that. He trained boxers. And both of them were boxers, but you know, Jermell wanted to cut loose and dig deep. He was more apt to be a part of that Derrick James kind of look, you know, dig into your body and just go for broke, slug it out, fight mano to mano. That was more his style until he ran across Tony Harris. Then he had to change some shit up. I see you, Tay, you in the building. He said they mad that Bomac is free. They was hoping he was going to be away. Yeah. I would imagine some are. But yeah, but you know, he gets with Derrick. He leaves Rodney Shields in a huff. I remember this. That wasn't such a clean break. He left, but you know, brothers gonna stick together. He left, and Big Charlo stayed behind. Had sense enough to stay behind. But Lil Charlo knew he was leaving and coming into somebody else's territory. That's why he was kissing Earl Spence's ass, in my opinion, from day one. he wanted Derrick James to be equally theirs. But real talk, Jermell Charlo is a narcissist. He's very cocky and conceited, has a big ego, and again, most fighters do. But you know, you got to find a balance, which I don't know if he found his yet. But shout outs to him finding it. But he gets with Derrick James. He do that, like I say, he do it till he fight the Tony Harris fight, and he saw, a boxer beat your ass, and he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it, cause all that hardcore slugging and non-traditional boxing, if it works for you, it works for you. But it usually only works for you when you're like young. Time you get some age on you. And age in boxing is like early 30s. Then it don't work for you no more. Then what you gonna do? Just like I said with the Omar Figueroas and the Brandon Figueroas, it's gonna work until your youth card run out. Just like I'm telling you with the Benavidez, David Benavidez, the shit gonna work for him until his youth card run out, and everybody's different. Everybody's youth card lasts for so long. Well, Earl Spence and Charlo's, their youth card has expired. A lot of people say that Charlo was scared before he got in there. I believe so, and it's another mitigating factor is there was them bright lights. Remember how Floyd used to talk about that? See, when you had to fight for like, that was the one mitigating factor you had to get over, and you had to get over it quick. Floyd knew that no matter how bad you was, you could be King Dingling, you could be top creme de la creme. When you get under them lights, that's a whole nother ball game. And Floyd knew that. Apparently, Charlo forgot. Like I can tell all of you, a lot of y'all think y'all travel, go up and down the East Coast, go up and down the West Coast, and in between and everything. Y'all think y'all some shown up travelers. But y'all gonna bitch up and be scared as hell the minute you gotta go out the country. I done seen it happen to a lot of people. It don't stay like that, but you will. I done seen it happen to the bravest of them. Oh, when I get over there, I'm gonna be shivering in your boots. And I be laughing my motherfucking ass off. It's the best, it's the best thing to see. I did a lot of time overseas. My first time overseas, I wasn't shivering, but I was nervous and I was scared. I wanted to go home that whole first month. I was making promises to my detailer. I'll do anything. I'll give me your dirtiest ship. I'll ride whatever. He said, all right, I'm gonna keep you in mind. 2 years later, they're like out the phone. I'm like, bitch, 2 years later, you ain't doing shit. Because I would have served my time. You wanted to give me the best orders ever. but I was ready to make that deal just to get back home. Because you don't know how you're gonna be when you have to leave the country. A lot of people, the nerves go right out of them. That's most people. Why they think they bad. I mean, the Caribbean don't count. Places like Jamaica and shit, it don't really count. Even though Jamaica is straight in another person's country. But I bet you a lot of Americans think Jamaica belong to them. I bet you. It wouldn't shock me that they would think that Jamaica is a part of some Americans' own. We don't. Not at all. But A lot of Americans go there. Virgin Islands, all that Caribbean shit. It's not the same. Go outside the country and tell me how that work out for you. I seen some of the biggest and bravest men tremble with fear for weeks. The one girl in our group, when I went to Spain the first time, she wanted to get out. So all of us did, but she was brave enough to take it further. She pretended like she was gonna jump off the third story of the building, which was pretty high up. And they went to packing her ass quick, sent her home. And we kept in touch, and we was like, damn, man, she was more creative. You know, some people just don't like to play crazy. And most of us was that type of person. I ain't finna play no crazy, because I know them records follow you everywhere, too. That was a bridge too far for me. But she did. She kept in touch with us. I can still see her face. And she thought she did something. But after like 2 months, she regretted that shit. She regretted that shit. And she would call us sad and crying. Because once you did that, like I said, it follow you. You just messed up any kind of military career you ever thought you would have. No military will ever take you in after that. That's number one. You went back home to what? Some bullshit? You joined the military for a better life, and you went back home to some bullshit. And I don't even know how far in life, how elevated her life had become. She had a nice job in the military, but she played crazy. She played cray-cray. Why? Because she was out the country. She was scared. But that's what happens when you fight under them big lights. Not to get off subject. When you fight under them lights, sometimes that's the equivalent that I could think of that could happen to you. You're on a big stage. You got people like Cardi B showing up to your fight. I mean, come on. You got Denzel, Judge Mathis, all them folks showing up to your fight. Tom Brady calling you and shit. For you, anybody would be nervous. Anybody. That's understandable. But I think that played a part in Canelo and Charlo's fight. I think Charlo realized early on that that he was no match for Canelo, or that Canelo can hurt him for real, for real. I think he felt his presence before he felt a blow. You know, Canelo like to beat your body up and shit. Jerry is in the building. Was Poppy King? He said, you don't fly with the gun, though. Bull Max screwed up. I ain't making an excuse for him, Jerry. I still don't know if he did private going out of there or a commercial going there, because I'm still confused how they miss all that shit going over there. But I said in the beginning, Jerry, you won't hear that America don't trump no other country's laws and policies. Even though everybody like to think America is the number one country in the world, every country think they the number one country in the world. But you can't go to nobody else's country thinking or bringing American laws with you. And a lot of Americans do. That's where they mess up. So they showed him grace on that one, Jerry. But we talk about the Charlo fight and all that, like how he further exposed all of them. Now we went back as far as the Earl Spence and Floyd Mayweather debacle, and how I wasn't too much sold on that shit, but that's his claim to fame. Absolutely his claim to fame is him piecing up Mayweather. And then whatever he do, whatever he touch, he got the Midas touch after that. Everything he touched turned to gold. If Earl, then he's rocking with Derrick James. So Derrick James must be his Roger Mayweather. Or better than, you know what I'm saying? and PBC must be better than whatever Mayweather was rolling with back then, which I think mostly was PBC, but everybody Mayweather might have rolled with. And like I said, Spence goes out his way to let it be known that he don't work for Mayweather. You can count on that statement at least once a year or once every other year. He did it on Black Fight Fan Show 5 years ago. He did it last year when Mayweather was on his PBC, and PBC is me. I think that Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather Jr. always knew that Spence could not beat Terrence Crawford. I think they always knew that Charlo can't beat Terrence Crawford. You know, as good as Floyd Mayweather is, I think he would know these things. And what we find out this year, that Al Heyman and Floyd and whoever else at PBC definitely was putting the brakes on Spence and Crawford on purpose. They didn't want that shit to happen. But Spence was, I think, really in the dark about his abilities. and when Derrick James said he didn't watch film, I never believed him. I know he did. They figure if they don't like you good enough that they can have the upper hand or something. I don't know. I told y'all my theory on Charlo. I think he was backed into a corner. He was in a predicament just like Errol Spence. I think that when he says stuff like, you know, he always wanted Canelo and this, that, and the other, and they've been talking shit. Yeah, they kind of was. And Canelo tried to remind them of it. Like, dude, I remember from way back that shit y'all was talking. And I'm about to show you that it ain't that sweet like that. But I really think it was the big lights. I think it was Canelo's presence before it was his actual punch. I think once Jermell felt his punch, he knew. But Jermell cannot be outdone. That's another egotistical, narcissist type dude. Him and Spence. He know that Spence got probably over 20 million. Not probably. We know he got over 20 million when he just fought, what's called, that's the biggest check he ever got. Excuse me, y'all. Jerry said, I don't think Floyd had much to do with it. Mostly only hardcore boxing fans even know about that sparring session. Well, Floyd did, because Floyd could have shot it down. Floyd wasn't his usual self. Floyd could have shot that shit down real easy in only Floyd's way, because Floyd is very egotistical too and don't like to be embarrassed. I think it was a concerted effort. I think if he had an agenda, that he wasn't really sharing that with Spence. But I think Spence was just picking up on the vibe and was like, well, he ain't say it didn't happen, but don't get ahead of myself and start bragging and doing all that kind of craziness, because I don't want to piss him off. Because, you know, if you piss Floyd off, you know, just ask Mickey Day and some of the other people that fought with him, and they could tell you media-wise how he can run the blitz on your ass and do all kinds of shit that'll fuck up your career. So, hold on, y'all. 1 second. Charlo, I'm on live right now. Where you on your way home? Yep. I ain't gonna be long. I'll call you back.
Okay, all right. Okay.
All right, bye-bye. So, yeah. I think they were working in unison, but both of them didn't know the agenda of the other. I really don't think Errol Spence knew what Floyd was doing all the way. But I think Floyd showed him grace. But not for that, Errol Spence too. It would have took us a long time to even be endeared to him. So it was plus and minuses to that whole debacle. I think Charlo recognized the click. That's why he ran from Rodney Shields and ran over to Derrick. And I told y'all when Charlo was with Rodney Shields back in the day, he used to spend a lot of time. I feel like he lived up in Northern California, but he spent a lot of time up that way and then would come down. And I thought it was because his son's mother lived up there or whatever. But he would come down for training and then he would go back up there. He did this when he was with Rodney Shields too. And once he got with Derrick, he had to cement his space within their space. And they was gracious enough to open the door for him. Now you got Ryan Garcia. He got a fight coming up in December. You got Frank Marting, who really lost. He really did lose. And he's already talking like they were. He's already using their blueprint. And I would suggest that he would do a 180 and not do that. I would suggest that he do that because this last move that he made, he hasn't even arrived yet to make those type of decisions and moves. But hey, when you're down with Spence or when you're down with Derrick or when you're down with PBC, I guess he feel like, and that's not so. Even with Canelo fighting Cinco de Mayo next year, where is he going to fight? It ain't going to be Showtime. Why they getting rid of Showtime app? I couldn't even tell you. That one is crazy to me. But I had told y'all this shit was coming. Been told y'all. You know what I'm saying? And right here at the end, all the money that PBC got, they giving it to Canelo and some to Charlo because he just fought, right? Charlo got some of that money. Charlo don't want for Earl to outshine him. Maybe Earl is like that, but I really see it in Charlo. We know Earl got over 20 million, so Charlo had to get the bag too. That's what kept him calm about the whole thing. He's getting the bag while taking a loss. Then he wants to call out Bud. So Bud need to hit him back. Charlo, I'm busy. What do you want from me? I'm busy. You should have go fight Tim Tszyu. We busy. Bud feel like you're a loser and he has nothing to gain by fighting because of the showing that you put on and fighting what you call him. But you let the cat out the bag. Y'all finally had to fight somebody where that Derrick James style don't mix. It don't work. And y'all finally had to face somebody that can show you why that shit don't work. All three of you. Charlo, only you start boxing again, I believe, initially after the Tony Harris fight. But it could have been a Castano fight. Because you wanted some kind of edge. You needed to learn how to box again. But you had all that when you was with Ronnie Shields. You left that to go get what slug him out, Derrick James. You left that. You had that whole setup. At what point did he realize his lateral movements and moving around won't go get it? He can't throw his hardest punch when he do that. I always thought he would sell out. But I'm with and just go for broke. I thought that was in him. But that's in him for some people. Or maybe some weight class. He said for sure he's going back down to 154. He's not undisputed no more. And that's because his arrogant ass wasn't in contact probably with the WBO as much as he needed to be. So that they can work with him. I know people who favor him would say something different. But he wasn't talking to them. That's why they was riding his ass. The WBO don't feel like the WBC. It's been, 3 years since Charlo? Big Charlo? And I feel for him. I empathize in everything. But I empathize with the other boxers that have chosen this career too, and you're holding up the 160 division with your belt and not being active. You're holding it up. And they should have been stripped you. If not only, but to be fair. And I like Big Charlo. I'm happy that he's a champion. But I'm talking about fairness. I often joke, the click is over. The click is over. I'm trying to imitate MC Shan. The bridge is over. The bridge is over. A little early for some of y'all. But to me, that's what it was. That click died out in broad daylight because the lies couldn't sustain itself. They really lied to Earl Spence because I'm telling you, y'all was like he off. I don't think he was off on that fight. I done looked at that fight 10 times. That man was in sound mind, body, and control. That man, he was believing a lie. That's the only thing that was wrong with him. He really did believe that lie. And when it was revealed to him and us at the same time, you was mistaken. We wasn't mistaken. We always knew. But when the world could see at the same time, that's when I could say he saw it looking funny. Jerry said he's still 3-belt holder, unified champion. Bud beats him. And then if he can beat Tszyu, he will be 3-weight undisputed in 3 fights. Yeah, Jerry, I don't know how that's gonna work. I be thinking sometimes, do you think Tszyu will man up and fight Bud if he asks? He said 2 fights, not 3. What you mean 2 fights, not 3? Dan Tan saying, you mean KRS-One? The bridge is over. There was MC Shan in there. Dan Tan. Won't it? MC Shan? The bridge is over. Hold on now. You're going to make me go look. You might be right. Shit, don't give me the line. You look this up. Ratchet now. The song's intro samples to Bridges Over by MC Shan. Man, where you at, Dan? Dan Tan. You must be my age group. Dude, I was there. No, it says that it was his intro song. It do say Boogie Down Production too. Criminal Minded B-side. I remember Criminal Minded. Yeah. It is a diss song. Jay, you're saying you right too. Dan Tan down. But I remember it always be playing on MC Shan shit. But I changed that motherfucking song, Dan Tan. I called it The Click Is Over. The Click Is Over. The click is over. The click is over. Hey, hey. I remember all them songs. Damn. The fact that they was out, they were very popular when I was young. But you right, Dan Tan. I stand corrected. Jerry Taxer said, as a WBO champion, Bud can force the Zoo fight. I have not heard Bud mention Tim at all, only saying who he won't fight. Well, Bud is at the end of his career, y'all. Y'all done made the man wait too long. Following the clique is not good. Because look what happens. We followed their clique. And we always knew that Bud was going to win. But we had to wait until we got our opportunity. And now that Bud won, who is he to fight? Don't tell me when Canelo fought Floyd, he took lemons and made lemonade. That means he elevated himself. He got bigger and bigger. He made more money, and look at him today. When Floyd fought Oscar, the same shit. Where is Bud gonna get his from? Because they still trying to blackmail and cap and all that. And stonewall him. And let me get this straight. Because I hear a lot of rumblings about this one too. There's the original contract. And for those who got access to it, I know it's been put out. We know that it's been out there for people to see or whatever. In the original contract of Bud and Spence, they talk about a possible rematch and who among the two can ask for it. What do we know? Both can ask for it. But what do you know about a rematch, period? If I fight you in the lightweight division, and then I said we're going to have a rematch, but we're going to fight in the super welterweight division, is that a rematch? Or is that a new fight? By the true definition of a rematch, it's pretty much a do-over of the original match. That's what it is. Now, I'm not saying that like it can't not to be different or whatever. But they made provisions, Bud and Errol, when they did that contract. They made provisions that if they can't make the weight then they have to write formally to a higher authority. Like Spence can't write to Bud, and Bud can't write to Spence. Just a higher authority, kind of like how when y'all make bets, and y'all say so and so should hold the money. Just somebody different from them. That's not gonna be biased or whatever. I don't know who that convening authority was delegated to specifically, but just somebody different from them. That if you can't simply make the weight, as Spence fans love to tell us nowadays, that he was so super drained, but he won't super drained when he fought Ugas, but he was so super drained when he fought Bud. Then look at that dude who did the compilation video of all the Earl fans saying one thing the day before the fight, hell, the day of the fight, and saying another thing after the fight, which is hilarious. And it shows you the bullshit that they be on. Why we call them sexuals anyway. But getting back to my point, the contract has its stipulations and its rules. And both of them have done well to follow the contract. I mean, they're negotiating now. You got one player who's saying, well, at least this is what his fans are saying, because we don't know what Earl Spence is saying. By his actions, he's saying the same thing Bud's saying, 147. Because if he wanted it to be 154, he would have had to put that formula in writing. How is that difficult for half of y'all to understand? You Eurosexuals, you. How do y'all not understand that? Jerry said, Bud said he has 3 fight left. He got to fight somebody. If he intends to fight 3 more times, Canelo fight is very unlikely. Jerry, we just have to see what happens. I'm definitely not that person that will say what Bud can't do, because I leave that up to y'all and anybody who like to say that, while he show you he can do what he said he want to do. So if any lessons should have been learned in this last 5 years, that should be one with the fans, or the fans of Spence, the fans of PBC, or whoever. That ain't no sense in talking about what Bud can or cannot do. He always do what he wants. He always get it the way he wants. So I'm not gonna be on that team. Try to say what the hell that man can do. Another thing, Bud said it plain and simple. It was in the contract. If Spence wants to fight at 114, at 154, then your man's got to put it in writing. That's it. It don't have to. He don't have to ask nobody. But I don't know if you. I guess you can call that asking. But you got to put it in writing. You got to. And that was for your first contract, to get the rematch, because that's what they're probably negotiating on, who gonna fight at what. Now Bud have told you when he said he'll stick around and fight Tank Davis. He'll stay at 147 for that. You haven't heard or seen that Bud got rid of his belts, and he'll get rid of them when he feel like it. Ain't no sense in rushing. Boost, they about to come your way. Just chill. Because once he releases them, You gonna be going all around the world scooping them up, and ain't nobody gonna stop you. So, I mean, there's that. So he just have to fill out that letter. If he don't fill it out, they made provisions for that. That it go back to default settings and go back to the original weight. After all, that is what the rematch should be in, the original weight. That way Earl has a chance to become undisputed or what have you. But I get it. A lot of people don't want to see that fight at 147. Why? What could change? I would submit to you what could change at 154. But they signed the contract. Fair is fair. Spence, if you want it at 154, baby, just sign the paper. Sign. Write your little formal letter and say, I want it at 154. And Bud, I don't have a problem with it. But you can't make Bud or sit around and wait for Bud. Just that ego shit again that I don't even understand this for either one of them. If both of y'all feel better at 154, just go on and say it. But Spence waiting for him to say something that you desperately need, because Bud can make 154, 147. Everybody know that. Jerry said, well, one thing he definitely can't do is make Canelo fight him, regardless of how much you like him. Canelo has said he is not in his plans. It ain't making him fight him. I mean, but, that'll be up to Canelo. Canelo also said he will fight Spence. Why not Bud? Make me think that Canelo's scared. Or he got some reason to be concerned about fighting somebody like Bud. What he gonna say? He like the ass? Why wouldn't you fight Spence? Bud. Why? That's a legitimate question. Why? Spence was a 147. You can't even say he a 154 because he hasn't had a fight yet at 154 outside of his beginning of his career over a decade ago. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about he has consistently been a 147 pounder all this long time. He has not switched over to 154 officially yet because he hasn't had a fight. But Canelo was willing to fight him. And that's recent. Jerry said he would fight Spence while he was still at 160. No, he said he would go to 160 if my memory serves me correct. But Jerry, I will look that up because if my memory serves me correctly, he said he would go to 160 to fight. Do that for Spence, do it for Bud. But Bud wants the undisputed. I get it. So then offer Bud. It still will be a cash cow fight. You got Bud and him. This will put Canelo back at top. Something he definitely lost since Bivol. This is a win-win for Canelo. There's a lot he gains by even fighting Bud. But he don't want to. but he's willing to fight Bud's peers. You have to ask yourself why. Wouldn't that be easy work? Then you just destroyed Charlo. Who was supposed to be bigger than Bud. Jerry said, but regardless, Bud still has to fight someone. Canelo not likely. So my question is who? Who should Bud fight? He ruled out Charlo, Garcia, Thurman, Boots. Who should he fight? I don't know. He can fight another Avenesian. Y'all won't like it, but who would care? He made $10 million fighting Avenesian. That's the going rate these days, I guess. He said that was before he became 168 undisputed. And one comment in one interview, he has not mentioned Spence since then. And even then, he was asked. I have to look it up, Jerry. I mean, I believe you believe what you know, but I'm just have to look it up because I swear I thought it was the way I seen it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But Bud can fight, like I said, another Avenesian. Get $10 million for it. Of course, y'all gonna say he didn't. We wouldn't give a care if y'all believed it or not. The reason why we wouldn't give a care. ATA, I see you in the building. I'm about to get out. He said, Queen T, what it do? The reason why I say, Jared, we wouldn't give a care is y'all gonna believe what y'all believe about Bud. I told y'all my theory. I think Charlo knew an ass whooping was on the horizon. I think he had gave himself pause when it came to Tim Tszyu. I don't think he was that sure about Tim Tszyu. I know he wasn't sure about Bud. Leave me alone. Go fight somebody else. I'm busy. If you're going to take an ass whooping, who better to take an ass whooping from but Canelo? That'll buy you some time. Get yourself straight. Figure out where you're going next. And then you and your boy would still be, y'all would still be even though y'all try to act like y'all just friends, but y'all be secretly low-key competing against each other. And ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what people do. And matter of fact, Earl Spence did call Charlo. Excuse me, I saw that in the epilogue. Damn, I got what is that belching? I hate that. Earl Spence did talk to Charlo. But damn, an ass whooping that bad, you gotta go incognito. Earl Spence, come out incognito. Because you don't have nothing to be ashamed of. You tried through the whole fight. I mean, at least you can say that over Charlo. He didn't. You tried through the whole fight. You learned your lesson. You gotta call a spade a spade. Y'all always knew Buzz was the goods, but because y'all didn't like him or he was easier to make fun of, that's what y'all chose to do. And you followed the wrong Pied Piper. ATS said Canelo gonna whoop Bud bad. Okay. He said Tim Zoo would have spanked Charlo. I think he probably would have. Jerry said I would just like to see more of Bud Crawford. He is number one pound for pound, so I don't want to see another Avenesian Green Bean Benavidez type of opponent at this point. That is y'all fault, Jerry, though. Jerry, real talk. That's y'all fault for diminishing the character of those fellas that you just named. If Earl Spence and Derrick James and crew and PBC did not talk bad about those guys, y'all wouldn't feel this way. They was always somebody, and they was always good fighters. Bud never picked anybody that was easy they could walk through. And now that's evidently clear when he was fighting Spence. Because if out of all 40 opponents, who was the easiest one? And that was Spence. Never mind a bad night. They all could have had a bad night. Which we could explain everything with just a bad night. Every last one of Bud's opponents put up a better of a fight than Earl Spence. Way better. And y'all would have saw the same thing with Charlo. So here we are now on the horizon. I'm telling you the same shit. And y'all not listening again. But you'll be shocked again. ATL said my peoples got whooped like I did in middle school. And he said, I am not the one who signed with Top Rank 3 times. I don't think he signed with Top Rank 3 times, but Jerry, again, Jerry, I don't begrudge you for the choices you made in life and business decisions that you chose, or anything, even to playing your instrument. I don't begrudge you for that. And there shouldn't be a soul walking this earth that begrudge you for that. Now, if your job was to go and kill polar bears to extinction, I would begrudge you for that. Because that's a living, breathing animal that God made. And you're extincting them on purpose. So, yes, I will begrudge you that type of job. But I don't give a fuck what type of job either one of them pick. Not Earl, not Bud. What that got to do with y'all? Why would y'all be mad at that? That shit is so idiotic. It don't even make sense. And Jerry said, those fighters never held any titles, nor did they ever fight a former titleist. That is how they are judged, not what Bud fans want. Who's to say they never held the title? You can't say, we got funny titles here in America that we don't count, like that NATVU, whatever. Those are real titles. And a lot of fighters get them, and we don't give a fuck about them. We only care about the WBC, WBO, IBF, and WBC and WBA. He said, he said, Herb Big Mike got out today because they couldn't feed him. There he go. There he go. Yeah. I'm glad that, like I said, that UK showed him grace. But y'all diminished the character and the progress that those fighters had in their life. Some of them were undefeated. But y'all don't care. But I mean, that's say. But again, you know what they can say? That they fought better than your boy Errol Spence. They fought way better than him. That's what they can say. So, it really ain't nothing to talk about. Like I said, if Derrick and Spence cracked the door, Charlo took the hinges off and exposed them for what they really are. Right now, Earl Spence and Charlo will be on money grab tours, and that's it. Charlo is probably happy that he finally he went over 20 million. He probably happy as hell that he was able to get that, because that makes him and Errol Spence the same kind of millionaire. You know, no one is really more than the other. Even though I would say that Charlo slightly edged him because he got 10 million for the Castano fight. He said, "I just playing." No, you're not. He said, "Check that record right there to be seen. I'm talking recognized title, not regional trinkets. I still don't got no excuses for my guy." But Jerry, you know, a lot of them, the ones that was overseas, probably had prestigious awards given to them or whatever. But just because you say they not nothing, it don't make it so. And that's what's the moral to the story. It was all because the clique said they wasn't nothing. They had no value. All of them. And that's why they misjudged or misthought what they could do. Because they big themselves up so much. Charlo big himself up so much. He wasn't even prepared for them bright lights. That's what I think got to him the most. Even before he walked out to the ring. Knowing he was going to be on that big stage. Canelo, it's a breeze. Mayweather, breeze. Believe it or not, Terrence Crawford, breeze. It wasn't a breeze to Charlo. He said, "I still don't got no excuses for my guy." You can't, yeah. Hell yeah. So that's all I was seeing, Jerry. That's all I said. Y'all can continue to keep calling Terrence Crawford opponents ain't shit opponents. That really puts Earl under the pickle. Because whatever y'all can call them, Earl is underneath them. He's beneath them. Did not say they was nothing. Said they never were champion or beat any former champion. They were fringe contenders. And like I said, Jared, they was somebody. They was somebody big where they came from. But anyway, whatever they are, Earl Spence is beneath them. Remember that. We talk about how they fought turns. Earl Spence is beneath them. Point blank, period. And you can't get away from that shit. And you can't say he had a bad night. Anybody can have a bad night. When it counted, when the lights was on, what the fuck did he do? Now he got to be incognito. Why? That ass whooping was that bad? You want to be incognito? I don't get it. You can come out. It's over now. Well, maybe he feel like he somewhere. I heard he was in England with some coach. It sounded like Anthony Joshua, old coach, or something like that. I don't know for sure, but it sounded like the dude name. But he's over there training and just staying away from things that can interfere or get in his mind. Just make sure he have a clear head and whatnot, and this, that, and the other. And that's fine. And Bud is doing the same thing. And now the Bomac coming back, now their family is complete. Said Bud is a fighter who has Hall of Fame accomplishments without a Hall of Fame resume. No, Jerry. You one person. The Hall of Fame is a board. And for them, they didn't see what you saw. Ain't nobody gonna give them a Hall of Fame with no resume. Again, you're keeping that shit going on. And it's a lie. You keeping that click lie, that PBC lie going on, and you just one person. So I'll take the Hall of Fame board of several people, and people like Roy Jones, Antonio Tarver, and James Toney, just to name a few. I'll take their word over yours, because surely they know better than you. Even if you want to say you know better than me, Jerry, because I know that's what you want to say. Well, they know better than you. So I'll take their word for it. So all the way under. They did better than him straight up. Yeah, Jerry just continued. Those were disparaging lies said about him to put him down, to make him unmarketable, to hurt his career. And you still doing it. Damn shame. Took Timothy Bradley 4 times to get in. That's a lie. Jerry, you be lying your motherfucking ass off. Timothy Bradley got in on the second ballot. Everybody has to wait 5 years. After your 5 years, you can get in. Did you know that, Jerry? Because were you counting the years where they have to wait? Because Floyd got in first ballot. Andre Ward, first ballot. You know what I'm saying? You might as well say Terrence going to get in first ballot. After you retire, you got to wait 5 years. And then it's first ballot on that 5th year. And you're eligible to go get put in. Timothy Bradley is on his second ballot. And he got his this year. So took Timothy Bradley 4 times. Straight up bullshit lie. Finally 4th time he got in without not having any other fights. Hall of Fame is a business. And shows that you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Such a business. 4th ballot Hall of Fame. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. They said it was his second ballot. They said that shit when they was talking about him making it. They announced that he was making it, hell, the end of last year. Let me see. Let me look up something. Let me see. So I'm looking it up. And his fifth year, I think, was 21st. 21st or something like that. And he didn't get in because Floyd got first time up. And Floyd retired in 2017. Look at Floyd. Why they got this? They got a name on here. Oh, somebody else. Bunch of Floyd Mayweathers. This is daddy. Oh, damn. Damn, if you go to Box Rack on my back. If you go to Box Rack, they got Floyd Daddy up in here. Abdullah. Then you got Floyd up here. Shit. Crazy. All I know is Floyd tired. Like around 2017, something like that. I put it to you this way. Let me just say this. Floyd fought 2015. We know he fought Pacquiao, right? We know he fought Pacquiao in 2015. I know he did because I went to that fight. That was in the spring. After the Floyd fight and Pacquiao fight, who did he fight? He had some fights after that. Okay. In my head, Floyd fought his last fight in 2017. Can anybody correct me on that, or yay or nay? So Floyd got in first ballot, by the way, and his was 2022 first ballot. So I don't know how you got to do it. Do you got to wait 5 complete years, and then on the 6th year, that's the first ballot. That's the first ballot or the second ballot or however they do it. All I remember is Floyd retired officially in 2017. He got first ballot in 2022. If Timothy Bradley retired in 2016 or the same year as Floyd, we just know he got second ballot. That's what they said. I know I heard them say it. If they come out and say he did for it, and he did for it. I understand. I ain't gonna argue them little tidbits, but from my understanding, Timothy Bradley got second ballot. My back. I don't know what the hell going on with my back. But anyway, that is all I know. But anywho, yeah. Charlo and Earl exposed that whole crew, that whole setup over there. And then they got to start from scratch. I heard that Earl Spence got another trainer. I don't know how true that is. And I don't know if that's true, could that be the reason why Frank Marting decided he wasn't gonna fight just yet or whatever the hell, because he knew what was brewing. Because Frank is beholden to Earl, so if Earl moving on, you know Frank gonna be moving on, so that might be the reason. But I don't think Frank got enough. I don't think he has arrived to even make decisions like that. If that make any sense, you ain't no star nigga shit. Stop putting the cart before the horse, y'all. Jared said 4 years straight he was considered. No, I don't think so, Jared. I don't think that's how that works. I think, like I said, I know that they retire. And for 5 years, nobody thinking about their ass. They're not up for shit for 5 years. This empty is just, hey, I retired. And I gotta wait 5 years. And after my 5 years, then I'm eligible to even be considered for Hall of Fame. And that's how they get in. That's how they start saying first ballot, second ballot, third ballot, whatnot. Them guys have to make, they have to be eligible to be considered for Hall of Famer. And to be eligible, you have to be retired for 5 years consecutively. Which makes sense because some people can retire and then they can come back the next year. You know how they do. But if you retire for 5 consecutive years, 9 times out of 10, your ass ain't coming back. Like we can look at Sean Porter. He ain't coming back. And he even said that sometimes he be sitting there, he feel like he missed, but he ain't coming back. Just to sit out that long on the tail end of your career. It's one thing to do it in your prime, like when Mayweather did it, he came back and fought Juan Manuel Marquez or whatever. That was kind of different. But to be in your mid to late 30s or coming up on your mid 30s and to stop fighting and think you're going to pick that shit back up? Nah. Father Time don't waste no time with nobody. Father Time jump in there and intervene like a mug. They say it's 4 years now. Been that way for a minute. Google it. I don't know about that. Been that way for a minute. It won't that way when Floyd and them had to get their retro, and the only reason it was retro is because of COVID. They ain't say that shit when Tim Bradley got his shit, and they was talking about him getting his shit the end of last year. He got in this June. Him, motherfucker Zab, Judah, and all of them. So don't hit me with it's been that way for a minute. They ain't say that shit in the last 2 years. They ain't say none of that. It wasn't no topic or none of that shit. Y'all always trying to change some shit, or when shit try to change, sometimes shit do change. And then but y'all be trying to act like, oh, it's been that way for years. Where you been, T? You lying like a motherfucker. And if I don't believe you, I just don't believe you because they ain't say it. Again, when all them motherfuckers when Terrence got into the Hall of Fame with the hands, well, he ain't in the Hall of Fame officially, but he got his hands cast. That was about some we got to make up for COVID. We haven't had a Hall of Fame ceremony for the last 2 years. So we doing 2 years back and this year. So 3 years worth of Hall of Fames went in when Floyd was there. It was a whole bunch of people. But because of COVID, the shit didn't go down. They ain't say shit about it's 4 years now. I ain't hear nothing. Not at all. And then I hear the inductees for this year. And I'm like, oh, I ain't hear shit about it being 4 years neither. Hey, Jerry, I'm still right about the WBO. But you was right too. But I'm still right about the WBO. No, I wasn't. Jerry, you got this hard on to try to prove me wrong, but you can't. You can't. You can't. You have a hidden agenda. So, Jerry, I dubbed D wrong ass for the month. Jerry, you're a day late, dollar short. What you gonna do about it? You wrong, Jerry. You wrong as the day is long. And then this is the thing, Jerry. You always making standards or criteria that I don't even be talking about. Like you start arguments that I don't even be talking about. Just to say, oh, I was right about something. Why you in competition with me, Jerry? Can't find no men your age to be in competition. Jared, they still have the rule of the 10-pound rehydration, but it was an exception, is what I didn't hear about. But you were saying it like it's absolute, the rule across the board, and in that you're wrong, because that rule still exists. They just have an exception. That's all, Jared. But you need to go find somebody else, like another dude, to be in competition with. Not that I'm scared to be in competition with you, but you go out of your way. Because, like, even with that, nobody was saying nothing wrong. I didn't say nothing wrong. But even with that, but I wasn't even trying to challenge it. It didn't even need to be a challenge. But, Jerry, you feel like every time. Like, this 4 years, I ain't even talking about it. I'm just saying, and I know it's always been 5 years. But instead of you saying something like, well, T, they just changed it to 4 years. So, sweetie, it's not 5, it's 4 now. But I didn't know if you knew that. A person can receive that. But you be like, no, it's 4 years. And they've been like that. Now, pay me my $50. That's how you act, Jerry. I ain't trying to be in competition with your old ass. He said unenforced rules are not rules. They are suggestions. That's to you, Jerry. I could feel a rule on the book is a rule on the book. This proves this. I don't know what to tell you, Jerry. You ain't gonna like when I say this, but being black has taught me that a rule on the book is a rule on the book. You can't sit up there and say they unenforced or whatever, because sometimes motherfuckers bring rules out from 50 years that's not been that's not been enforced. But it's just because you there, we gonna enforce it. You know how many times I done went through that, Jared? Black people go through that all the time. I can tell you, I've been through that so many times. Even in this great Navy, United States Navy that we have. I've been through that. Rules that y'all never enforce, but now Miss T done got here. Ooh, and I worked with all white men, Jerry. Most of the time. So what I'm supposed to think on that one, Jerry? And then as soon as I leave, they go back to the unenforced rules. And then here goes Jerry with the old race card. Got it. Well, I mean, as long as you got it, that's good. As long as you got it and understand it, I'm good. You can't say that never happened to me, Jerry. I could tell you that it did. But you will never believe it, because in your mind, that's not how the world works. In my mind, that's how the world works. You got a lot of rules on the books that don't really get enforced until the person they want to enforce it on shows up. Everybody in this motherfucker would agree with me on that, except you. And 9 times out of 10, it do be a race card, but it don't always be. It could be black against black. It could be man against woman. Whatever floats their boat. I'd had men come up with some wonkers. Talking about some rules and shit. I'd be like, that ain't never been a rule. Yes, it have. Yes, it have. You know, my first real experience was somebody trying to enforce a rule that really wasn't on the books, or maybe was there and just wasn't enforced. My sister, being the oldest, we are 2 girls, 2 black girls, from the same mom and dad. And when my mom and them wasn't around, she was in charge. She was the oldest. And she ain't nothing but a year and a half older than me. But she had this thing, when she wants you to do something because she liked to control, she will fucking tell you that mama said it or daddy said it. And see, I come from the generation of when somebody's in charge, they represent the mom and dad. And you better do what they tell you and ask questions later. Because if you ever not did what they told you to do and they said, mama said you got to do this, then that's your ass. So a lot of times, my sister would get me and my brother all the time. Mama said do this. And mama never said it. She just wanted us to do it. And we didn't want to do it. But that's how she could force our hand. So we would do it. We'll forget to tell. And then one day I was like, fuck that. I'm not forgetting to tell. So she did that shit. And I told my mama. See, now my mama didn't do nothing. And then she did it again. I told my mama again. It was maybe 2 or 3 times. But I had to get animated. Like, come on. This shit, like, not that my mama responded to me with it. My mama knew when shit was just really unfair. But we probably sound like cackling hens. Mama, Sean did it. She made us do this. My mama was like, whatever, get out of my face. As parents would do. We all do. But when I was like, no, this is serious. And she listened this time all the way through. And I repeated and repeated. Well, I was on a mission. And when she finally listened, she was like, yeah, nah, we can't do that now. So she came up and talked to all of us and said, same rule apply. If I'm gone, she in charge, and you would do any and everything she said. My sister had that look like, But then my mama turned to her and said, but if you lie on me, I'm going to fuck you up. And I looked at my sister and gave her the hand salute. Do it again. Do it again. But my sister did get her rocks off. She did get some leverage on us for a while before that came to an end. So there you have it, Jerry. Rules that's not enforced, are not really on the books, or could be on the books, is not enforced. But until you show up, then it's enforced. But if they there, if they make sense, you gotta do them. Happens all the time, Jerry. So you can spare me with the old race card. Sometimes it just be like that, Jerry. I worked in the field where it was all white males before I got there. We literally had to integrate them. So stop, with the old race card, Jerry. I'm up to date. I'm up to date, and I'm in this world. We had our race stuff in my generation. We got it still today. It is what it is, Jerry. Don't have a cow. But y'all see that shirt right there? I want y'all go ahead on over to. Y'all know what I'm going to do. I'm going to brag about my shirts. Jerry, I ain't see you. You get a shirt. This one right here for you. Look at the screen, Jerry. Always thinking. That's you, Jerry. You always thinking. Hey, and to the Libras. All different colors, sizes, and everything. Okay. We got the new shirts on deck. The new shirts. Y'all go out and get y'all girl the new shirts. Man, and look, we got something for y'all. For those guys got them rotator cuff injuries and all that. Got something for you right here. Scratch up your beard in a good way. Comb through your beard, but offers a little scratch, a warm scratch. You get that. And I know y'all like some cups that can stir up with the push of a button. See that yellow button on the lime green joint? That's where the button is. Press down on that to shake up whatever's in the cup. Got all kinds of t-shirts. The battery, social battery died. Beach nerd. Super kid. We got the I guess actor. Got the Canelo shirt. We got the sweater. I guess active. We got the hoodie. The Bud hoodie. This is my era. This is my era. And a lot more in the store. We got leggings. We got all kinds of things, y'all. All kinds of gadgets and gadgets. Just head over to AskMeT51.com. Want to put it in the chat. Jerry, I ain't seen you up in the store. Sound like you boycott. You boycotting the store for Jerry. Stop boycotting. That's the name. That's the link right there, y'all. Go up in the store and have fun. He said, we talking about the WBO written rules for all fighters in the title unification fights. Remember, rules not guidelines. All right, Jerry, I'm not arguing with you tonight. Have a good one tonight. Go shopping, Jerry. Go up in the store because I know your beard is scraggly. Go get you the man beard comb. You gonna like it, Jerry. Feel good on your face. Y'all know how y'all be scratching y'all face anyway with y'all hand. Man, this comb is warm and it scratches your beard straight. Y'all don't sleep on it. But anywho, that's all I got for today. And I said, oh yeah, the back scratching, eh? Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all that I'm hitting buttons in this. Let me see. That back scratcher, oh my goodness. Not only do it scratch your back, but it be scrubbing the hell out your back. I love it. I buy most of the stuff that I put in the store anyway. So y'all go over there, have a good time. Christmas time coming up. Get your shop on. All right.